Welcome to Stender Thoughts. We've been dealing with the terrible moral difficulties that's awakened by any course of violent action, even by our armies, and our armies especially now in Gaza, in the incursion and in the bombing of Hamas centers of activity. Today, I'd like to deal with the question posed, what would Maimonides say about what should be the attitude of the soldier? This question in many ways are posed all the time, to whether explicitly or not, to fathers, to rabbis, to mothers, to teachers. A student of mine came to the Pardes Beit Midrash a few years ago after having made Aliyah. I knew them in the United States, and I continued a relationship here. It was a relationship of study. We learned Talmud together, Midrash, Buber, wonderful discussions. A tall, thin kid, in my mind, with a wonderful imagination, compassion, and at the same time, would go out and shoot some baskets, never missed, dead shot. Taken into the army, I thought he would have a desk job, so did he. Turns out he's a dead shot. He was taken into the snipers and became very aware of the work that he needed to do. He came into the Beit Midrash, we sat down, he told me what he was going to do, about to do, and he asked the question we always asked each other, what would Maimonides say? Well, actually, Maimonides has something to say, and that affected him, and it affects, and has a response to what goes on for all our soldiers, our sons and our daughters, who are colleagues, who are there and who are ready and do defend Israel at the risk of their own life. Maimonides says in the Laws of Kings, which is the last section of laws in his magnum opus, Mishnah Torah, legal work, legal code, first real major legal code. He says that yes, Jewish law exempts all sorts of people from battle, those who haven't yet dedicated their household, and those who have not yet tilled and enjoyed their vineyard, those who have married but not have yet fully consummated and lived together. All those people are free from battle, and so too is the person who's rach levav, a person who is fearful and is faint-hearted or tender-hearted. The halacha allows that person out. But once the person has made the decision to fight, then that person is no longer allowed to be afraid. According to Maimonides, he says it here, chapter 7, number 15, such a person, Yish'an al mikveh Yisrael, he must rely upon the hope of Israel, upon our salvation. He understands he must do so not at the easy times, but Eit Sarah, in the hard times. He must know that he is fighting for a purpose. He's fighting for the people and for the existence of a people who bear the name of God. V'yasim nafsho b'kapo, he has to take his soul, he has to take his heart into his own hands. V'lo yira v'lo yifached v'lo yachshov lo b'shto v'lo b'vanav, he must no longer be afraid, he must no longer be dismayed. He's not allowed to think about his wife, he's not allowed to think about his children. He should wipe thoughts of them temporarily out of his mind. V'yifneh b'chol davar l'milchama, he must turn his whole matter to the battle on hand. He must know that he has to fight b'chol libo v'chol nafsho, with all his heart and with all his might. Sound familiar? Words of the Shema, not used often by Maimonides. B'chol libo v'chol nafsho, he must know shekol dumei Yisrael tulim b'tzavaro, that he bears on his shoulders the destiny, the blood of the Jewish people, the blood in the sense of their existence and their future. This is what he must do. This is actually what every Israeli soldier is called upon. He's called upon to defend his people, a people who have a covenantal name, a people who have faced disaster before, who have not always been victorious and have been near extinction. He must realize what he must do, and what she must do. He must realize it in every possible part. At the same time, the laws are clear on what can be done and what must not be done. But in terms of his attitude, it must be an attitude that is straightforward. This is a hard thing to expect from young people, and from this young man that we learned with and we talked with. and who had said to me, "This is no longer I and thou, Buber, what would Maimonides say," walked away from this and decided to enter into the service and to do what he could do. Do not think that it was easy for him. Do not think it was easy for others. And that is part of the price that we pay as a society to make sure that we ourselves can remain free, that we can remain safe, that we can carve out here a nation that is open to others. These are the Stender thoughts for today.